We've got a live event, a holiday craft and vendor fair that we're going to, and we want to capture people's email addresses. We want to incentivize them by giving them a discount if they give us their email address. So the old-fashioned way of doing this was to have a piece of paper and let them, maybe enter in for a drawing. But the way we decided to do it is if they subscribe to our email list, we'll give them $5 off in their order. So on the table at the booth, we're going to have a simple page and probably a QR code that takes them to the form they need to go to. And then after they submit their information, their email address is going to get added to an Airtable base that our staff can reference and confirm with the customer that they did successfully sign up. So, of course, we're going to be using Groundhogg. That's where the contact information is going to be stored. And let's go ahead. Let's look at our subscribe funnel checklist. And you'll have this at the end of the email, so you can use it as well. And even though it's called, subscribe funnel checklist, it could be like an opt-in checklist. But basically, we need a page. We need a thank you page. So that after they submit the form, they'll go to a thank you page so that it's recorded in our Google Analytics. And in this case, we actually already have this created. And that's already taken care of. We're going to use our existing thank you page. And then we need to create a form. And we're only going to ask for their first name and email address. Then set it up so it goes to the thank you page after it's submitted. And then we need to add the form to our subscribe page. And then we'll add some system. Actually, this won't be necessary because we already have an existing funnel. We just need the form that puts them into the funnel. And then we'll actually go ahead and review it as well. So we're going to use Integromat to add it to the Airtable base then. But let's just do first things first. Let's go over and let's create our subscribe page that we're going to be telling people at the event to go to subscribe. So we'll go to Pages, Add New. Make this a little bit bigger. And we'll call this page I don't have the best name for that. And let's make sure this is set to no index. Okay. And let's just hit publish. Now we've got our page. So our page is created. We previously already had our thank you page, and most likely you'll have this done already too. And next we need to create our form. So in our case, we're using Fluent Forms Pro. So let's go and create that. And I'm actually going to duplicate my existing form here. And then we will need to make some tweaks to it. So first off, I need to change the name. So this is not a nurture campaign. We're doing a lead generating campaign. And if you're curious about this, you can go over to academy.touchdowntech.com. And I have a course on different types of campaigns, how to use them, how to set them up in Groundhogg, and go into detail about the different thinking and process behind this. But this would be a 20 lead gen, and let's call it, it's a holiday craft and vendor fair. I spelled that all right. And so we're asking for their first name and for their email. We're going to keep it as simple as possible because we don't want to take longer than we need to. And this is really the only two pieces of info that we need. So we've got a reCAPTCHA there, and then we got sign me up. So let's change this because it's going to be specific to this event, saving $5. So let's do subscribe and save $5. And now let's go over to our, let's save the form. Just make sure that nothing goes wrong. Now to settings and integrations. So we're going to go to our thank you page, and that's already set because I duplicated our existing subscribe form. So thank you for subscribing. That is the one I want to go to. And email notifications. This is turned off, which is great. We don't need that. And I actually could we could have this enabled so that it does go to our staff, but we thought that'd be more confusing and difficult to look through our inbox versus just having it show up in a nice, clean Airtable base. So that's why we're not doing it that way. Um, Next, marketing and CRM integrations here. So this is where it gets added to our subscribe funnel. So if I hit settings here, and all this was previously set up, um, so we don't have a whole lot of setup here that, or any really, that we need to do. And tag 55. So this is the tag that's going to take them into our normal subscribe funnel. And the only thing I want to add, I'm going to add a history tag here, so that we have track of contacts who did subscribe at this event, who did subscribe in this campaign. We're really going to track it against the campaign to see how effective the campaign was. And we can use this for years to come to track how much value came from this particular campaign. So I need to create that tag first. Let's go over to Groundhogg and open that up in a new tab. And this would be a history and then a campaign name. Let me go back here and just, oh, I can't copy it. Okay, I have it over here. They completed it. And let's add tag. All right, so now that's in our list here. So now if I go over here, I will need to save or update and refresh the page. So refresh the page, and then I actually need to get the tag ID, which is 93. So I can copy that, come over here, and add comma separated value. They have a bug here where they have the same line of text twice. So now these two tags will get added every time a contact fills out this form. We can create conditional logic, but in this case, the form is, we want to run this for everyone who fills out the form. And that check mark means that it's active. So again, I'm going to hit update WP Fusion feed. And again, if you have questions about anything I'm doing here, I have a step-by-step course over at academy.touchdowntech.com. This course right here, email marketing, goes through following using best practices for setting up Groundhogg. It has the different checklists, including the one I'm using right now, and additional ones as well. And so I think there's about 30 plus videos in here, step by step, getting you from the beginning of setting up the software to actually sending your first 6 marketing emails. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, our form is all good to go. Now let's go back to our page and let's add this form to that page. Just search for it. Okay. And let's just make sure. Okay. So let's update. And let's view this page. Okay. So you can see subscribe and save $5. They just put their name and email. So it's not beautiful. It's okay. It's not beautiful, but yeah, it's okay. Most people will be on their mobile phones. So again, just something quick and easy. Maybe I'll put a heading in here that says, thank you for stopping by our shop. Let's do that. Let's add a heading before this. Using our booth. Make this a heading. Okay, now let's just go look at that again. Just give them an additional incentive that, so this text should, let's make that a heading as well. Heading, make this a heading 3. And let's center it. Center that. Let's center this as well. Okay. Perfect. I like how that looks. Okay. Now we've got our form here. The one tag we're adding is going to put them into our actual subscribe funnel. That adds the additional nurture tags that we need. And the other one is a history tag that we know that, hey, they did opt in, they joined our list through this campaign. Now, we need to, when this is submitted, we need to get this to show up in our Airtable base. So let's go over here, let's create a new base. And we're just going to call this, let's just call it the name of our campaign. So the name of our campaign is that. And we basically, we need, we'll have their name and then we'll have their email. Their email, save. And actually, this is just their first name. And let's just delete that and delete that. Okay. Now, we need to create the integration between this here. And I told you we're going to use Integromat for that. And I'm actually thinking maybe we should use Zapier instead because Zapier has an integration with Fluent Forms. So let's do that instead. Integromat is great, but I generally prefer Zapier because it's easier to use. But Integromat is less expensive and it is gaining in popularity. And when possible, I do try to use that. All right, so we want to create a new Zap. Let's go back. We're done with tags. Let's go back over here. Go back to our dashboard. Go back to that form. We'll fire it from the form. And let's see. Right here, we'll go to settings. And then right here, Zapier. And, okay, there actually is a feed set up from when it was copied. So it's a good thing we're looking at this. So I'm going to hit settings, Zapier feed 1. Okay. I guess I'm going to have to do a little bit of research here. I don't recall exactly how this works. I think it's just I did that. So create a webhook account. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we need a webhook type of app. And then choose an event. So let's just drag this over here. So we want to catch hook. And then continue. And then we want to copy this custom webhook URL here. Copy that. And what does it say? Copy the generated URL, paste into the webhook URL in WP Fluent Form, Zapier integration. So back to our Fluent Form here. So I want to paste it into here. And then save notification button. So click save. Let's move on down. The closing part. Okay, let's go back here. So I think we're good on Fluent Forms now. But now on Zapier, let's keep on going. Let's click continue. Test trigger. So I think now it's waiting for the webhook to come from Fluent Forms. So let's send data sample. And now if we go over here, if I test trigger, it should pick it up. So now let's hit continue. And now what action do we want to happen? So we want to connect with Airtable. And we want to create a record. And we need to choose an account. And then we need to choose our base. So let's go back over here. So that's the name of our base. And then it's going to ask for the name of our table as well. We just have one table. Perfect. And then first name, email. Okay. So now we're going to look at our hook. So for the first name, we're going to put that in. And then for our email, we're going to put our email in. There we go. Let's hit continue. And that's all there is to it. Now I'm going to hit test and continue. Okay, the record cannot be sent to Airtable. I think it's because it was empty. So let's just do a skip test and let's actually test it in real life. So it's important. Let's name our Zap. So typically I'd probably name it something to do with our campaign up here. So let's just go ahead and just grab that. And then maybe I would do send to Airtable. Yeah, it's a good name. And let's turn on our Zap. Okay. And now let's go fill out this form to test it. So let's go back here. Let's go to our page. And something else, let's make this page a little bit easier so that our staff can just say, go to our web page / something easy. So let's search for it. There we go. So maybe we can just do holiday craft and vendor is the name of the event that's going on. So maybe we can just change that to maybe just event. I think that would seem really easy. I know that's not even anything in here, but that's such an easy word to spell. Let's just do event. Let's update. And so now let's go test this. Let's delete these blank records here. And then I'm going to open an incognito window. And then I'm going to just grab a dummy email address. And my favorite tool for that, sorry, it might take me a little bit to find this. Here, this is a really cool website. temp-mail.org. The problem is I always forget it, but it gives you a temporary email for testing, and it just is terrific. So I can copy that, and then let's go to studio301.co/event. Great, takes us here. So I'm just going to say Joe, and paste in our email address there. I'm not a robot. Click all the boats. Subscribe and save. So let's see what happens. Boom, wow, that was fast. Okay, did not get our first name for some reason. So for the first name, okay, just left it blank. Okay, so there's something wrong with Zapier with our first name. Let's go back here again, back to setup. Setup action. Test trigger. I wonder if what we need is, I wonder if it needs to be this here. Okay, let's try that. Close, turn it on, and let's try it one more time. So I can just refresh. Okay, and here I can see the email. Please confirm your email address. So this happens before they confirm their email address. I mean, if you'd want to, we could set this up so that this would, after they confirm, is when it gets added to Airtable, but I'm not that concerned. I don't think it's going to be necessary. So let's refresh and let's try this one more time. Actually, I'm going to close this all together so that it doesn't, actually it doesn't matter. So copy the new email address. Let's go back here again. Event. And Joan 2. And do this one more time. The bus. I think we're good. Subscribe and save. There we go. Now we're all set. And it did use our same email address, so I was wrong about refreshing, giving us a new email. And in our CRM, if I go to Groundhogg, we can see that contacts. These are the two contacts here, and they are unconfirmed. So, yeah, I mean, most of the people will probably go and confirm it after they show our staff that they signed up. So I'm not very concerned about it. And I'm going to go and delete these because actually it's just this one here, this fake email address here. So delete that one. And that's all there is to it. If you enjoy this video, if you want to have a better understanding of how to set up Groundhogg, how to organize your marketing with the different types of campaigns, with tags that make sense, check out my email marketing course. It's geared to go from the very beginning of setting up the software, setting up DNS records so you make sure that emails are coming from your company and they look professional, all the way to the very end where you send your first 6 marketing emails. So a bunch of videos here following best practice. So check it out, academy.touchdowntech.com. There are more courses coming. Soon we'll have a review automation funnel. We'll have a cross-sell automation funnel, and then some Airtable specific stuff, how to set up team dashboards to keep track of specific tasks, and then a message and task framework, which the team dashboard is more to keep track, kind of like a scorecard to see like what's getting done for each team member. The message and task framework is to organize when things need to get done, organize messages like emails, social media, and content too, your press releases, maybe your videos, any kind of content that you have for your site. It's an easy way to organize it and keep it, make it usable. So thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful for you. If you have a live event coming up and you want to track if someone or reward someone, incentivize someone for joining your email list and quickly being able to verify that, yes, they did join your email list, here's how you can do it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.